and
Sure,
they will, yeah.
sure.
So good morning all the participants. I think today little bit early we have start the session. So today we are I think Dr. Dipandu Dunia, he will be taking this course on PhD guidelines and tips. So I will give a short bio on his like he did his BE and ME from Bengal Engineering College, Shibpur, Howrah, and PhD from IIT Roorkee. And currently, he is working as an associate professor in Department of Civil Engineering in BITS Pilani. I think 2 years ago, he has organized one of the international event. I had glad to meet him on that event. I think ACSE conducted by
Thank
BITS
you.
Pilani. I think I got the best paper award in a structural engineering category. So I remember that incident still. They are one of the best organizers. Like if you see, even the vice chancellor, they used to sit with the students and they have a cup of tea and coffee. So they are organizing events and their everything is good. So still I remember that. So in future also, when we are conducting such events, it should be like not like some professor. They used to contact and clear our doubts easily during those kind of conferences. So thank you for
Yes.
organizing such kind of events, Professor. And today, I think for all the research scholars, those who are participating, really this session will be helpful for you. I think we'll start the session, Professor.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. And Dr. Daniel, what he has shared, it will be our pleasure. And in fact, we are always ready to welcome you people to BITS Pilani, uh, so that BITS Pilani also will feel proud actually to be host to like you people. I mean, it's just like people who are basically very generous and always ready to express his positive thoughts or her positive thoughts. So BITS Pilani is always basically means feel proud that
Yeah.
somebody is coming from outside. He should feel or she should feel something like positivity from the BITS Pilani,
Yes.
and later he or she can or somebody can share it, and so that if it will come to us, then we will also sometimes feel proud. So that should be maintained. Otherwise, even nobody can grow up. So that is
Yes,
why.
Professor.
Uh, and thank you, Dr. Daniel, and the team, the whole team, Manuscript
PDF.
PDF, uh, that they have given me and requested, and it will be my pleasure actually to be part of this and just share my thoughts about the topic, which is really a good topic in recent times, and it is complicated also at the same time. And yes, those who have already done PhD, they know that how much it's not difficult. It will be kind of a learning exposure actually through this procedure, that through PhD time we always have some learning exposure, like the life with life, we can relate with my life or with our life. At the same time, we also get the degree is not a matter, PhD degree is not a matter, but through this particular phase, the people will learn so many things. Because if I remember my time, in fact, how much I was aware, because I do not have any idea that whether I have to do my PhD or now whatever I am right now. I did not think about it because the family, from the family, from means the family from where I came, I belong. It was lower mediocre family. Yes, my father was a teacher. Right now, he is retired person, and my mother is a housewife, totally housewife, and the place where we belong actually, that is Howrah, although it is nearby the Kolkata, but that much of scope was not available to us. That from my childhood, or when I was basically at 8th standard or 7th standard or 10th standard maybe, or even 12th standard maybe, I totally focused to my PhD because I do not have any scope. Means I did not have any type of scope to focus on that. Okay, I have to be teacher in the university, and for this I have to do my PhD. And even not only that, even when I did my B, frankly speaking, I was not aware about the civil engineering. What is civil engineering? What is electronics engineering, computer science engineering. I do not have any idea. I did not have any idea. My father asked me that because I basically through our West Bengal joint entrance exam, and there I ranked something, and which basically by which I am right now here in civil engineering. I studied in second or third oldest engineering college in India, that is Sipur Engineering College, after Roorkee and Guindy University. But I was not aware, frankly speaking, I was not aware. I do not know what is civil engineering. So later and later, because when I studied civil engineering during my bachelor time, I something like okay, civil engineering is like that. Civil engineering, but we have to basically civilize the society, and for this all basic needs like water, electricity, the house, and the food. So for this, whatever engineers can do it and can make it available to the society, that in those engineers called as civil engineers. So that type of idea later, slowly I began to catch up. Means I just slowly began to learn that okay, this is civil engineering. And during my year, because it was the year of 1996, I admitted for my B, and 2000 I passed out. And during that time, the civil engineering, from the job point of view, it was not very good. All of my batchmates, most of my batchmates actually shifted to the software engineering because of the nothing but from the salary package. But because of my English was not very good, that was my basically weak point. And because I did my HAs, and that means the 10th standard and the 12th standard from the state university, that is West Bengal University, West Bengal board, and which is basically Bengali medium. So and in fact the English was their second language, although, but it was not that much of highlighted or that much of forcefully ask us that okay, you have to learn. So anyway, it was a second language. We just scored something like just pass mark. We have got some pass mark so that we can carry forward our career to from 12 to the next stage. So this was the scenario actually. Then what happened at the during my B, I was totally scattered. That I was not getting that what I have to do in my life. I was not thinking that okay, whatever I will get a job, I just start there and then do it accordingly. I look after my family. So that was my basically idea. Then I got a job, and offer a job actually, that is in Kolkata itself, that is Kolkata based company, but I was not enjoying it. So I again appear for the GATE exam, because when I get a job, means offer a job during my bachelor's time, then I thought that I did not appear for appear for the GATE, because GATE I was not interested actually. GATE, frankly speaking, again I'm not interested. Why do I go for the higher degree? Because bachelor itself is very prestigious. Why do I go for that? So those who are doing the master degree, so for me, they are not getting job. That is why they came. So that type of attitude also there are going on in my mind. So even I was basically looking at them just like oh, they did not get. That is why they came. So something like that. Finally, what I was thinking earlier, when I was not interested, something that. So after joining, means after joined in my in the company, and then there I felt that it was nothing. It was just like a mechanical way they are just doing it. So you have to learn in a mechanical. So that was my actually learning exposure in the company for 1 year. That means I was not very happy. Although I was in design office, I was not very happy. I was being asked to just operate the software, just get the results and give them. So this was my job actually. So I was not enjoying my job. So I thought that it would be better. I again go back to my higher degree. And then from that point itself, that point itself actually I slowly making towards to the higher degree and means I again joined the same college because I thought that that was my parent institution. Why don't I join there? Even not only that, gate score was also not very high. That was also another problem because I was not totally focused on into that. So that will be the problem. So I did not because whatever I got it the rank in the gate. So based on that, I did not try anywhere, even Roorkee also, because that time Roorkee was not IIT. Roorkee it's still there university, but Roorkee is different entrance exam. So I did not appear for any of the exam, either IIT. I did not try after my B. I mean, not after my B, after my gate, because that was after 1 year of the completion of my B, basically. Uh, so I got it again as a in the structural engineering division in my own Sipur Engineering College. Uh, I, I I got lucky also that I got that structural engineering division because that was my interest on. Structural engineering is my interest from the beginning itself, even from in the B also. So always I scored very high marks. That was my positive piece or strong point, you can say. But other subjects, I just passed. Frankly, so I just basically sharing so that you can understand. Even I think that those who have come across it, they also come across to the same phase, hopefully. So so then I thought that okay, I again went go back to my own parents' institution. Again, I can start my hostel life, enjoyment of the hostel life. So that was my basically interested part, and that is why I again went back and I thought that now this is my time. I have to think about my career because till that time till that company time where I was basically joined as a civil engineer, trainee civil engineer, I was not enjoying. So till that time, I was not at all totally career oriented or focused on the careers. No, nothing. So when I joined during my master of engineering in civil engineering and or in the structural engineering in Sipur Engineering College. So from that point of view, I slowly started to think about my career because my age is also going. That is also another thing, and family pressure is also there. Like what you will do, you are not at all totally focused on your career. And my younger brother, he is totally focused. So right now he is also civil engineer in IIT Bhubaneswar. Anyway, so both are in civil engineering. And he is in environmental fellow, and I am now structural fellow. So that is only the difference. So then from the beginning itself of my ME career, I started to read more paper, read more on the into the subjects, and not only that, read the other things also. That is like a novel or anything, means any story. Especially I used to read more comics and more kind of a chutki. Chutki means very short story which will make you laugh in your life. So that type of kind of literature, you can say, I started to read, and slowly I relate my life or my life towards that particular area. Actually, life, I am said life because earlier I was not at all worried about my life. Now I started to link my life to that particular career, towards that particular career. So that is why I just said my life actually. I thought that whatever is going on, this way I will also pass my time and it will be going on, and finally I will go away. Means something like that. So I was not totally focused. Now I started to focus my career. So And during my ME time, higher degree, when I was doing higher degree, that is a ME, Master of Engineering, I basically lucky to have two teachers, and they have changed my life a lot actually. Whatever I am right now, because of them, maybe their blessings, obviously my parents' blessings also there, but along with those two teachers, they, because of them only I am right now here, and they still are there in my life because I am always in touch with them. Um they are quite old right now, so over 80, both of my teachers age. So uh, they actually, because through their teaching, I slowly get interested. Although they were there in my BE, but I was not at all interested whatever they are teaching during my BE time. But when it was ME time, then I was used to sit in the first bench and started to listen carefully, properly, take the notes, and also ask questions. So, so that way, two ways. Actually, it is type of a two-way teaching. Through that two-way teaching or through the two-way learning, I was started to enjoy my life, and at the same time, the communication was happened between me and my teachers. And after the class also, if anything, any problem I face, suppose I did not understand in the class, or maybe something else I came to know, then I normally used to go to his or their chambers to discuss in detail. And later, one of them actually, I just requested them that please one of you make my ME advisor. So they became, one of them actually became advisor. So they basically asked me that what is your aim, that you have to first basically make yourself, and then you will go accordingly. Don't look to the others. You have to first fix that particular path, and according to that way you have to go. And if you look at the others, then again you will be confused. Again you do not able to make your aim. So then I told that, sir, because my other friends, because you know that during ME, most of the students are basically busy with their competitive exam normally. And that is why they normally used to come to the ME degree program or the MTech degree program. Either IAS, either IPS, either EAS, engineering service exam, or either any state board, state government state government exam like railway, or something like WBCS. So West Bengal, so that was actually there. So then I told her, sir, I tried first few weeks, but I was not again enjoying, because it was something like multiple choice question, A, B, C, D. So what is there then? I was not getting anything from there actually, and it is not very good to me. Even then they told that it will be better, which we basically after 1 year actually, after 1 year they told me, and they called me actually in their chamber. They both were sitting in one of the chambers, and I went there, and they basically monitor, or they basically kind of shared their thoughts about my progress. Then they told me that why don't you think about your PhD program, and after that you become a teacher. That will be good actually. Your basically attitude is totally inclined towards that. Then I told that, okay, sir, let me think about it. You give me some time. So that way I thought, I started to thought. And then finally, after few, again, I took too many weeks actually to think about whether I go for PhD or not. Then I told that, okay, I am ready to go for PhD. I also talked to my parents. They told that whatever you can do, you can do. We do not have any problem. You have to build your career. It is not, now you are quite mature, because that time I was 23 or 24 maybe. So you have to basically build your career, whatever you can do. We do not have any problem. Only thing is that don't ask too many, basically don't ask again money. Money means again stipend, again that. So we are not able to give you. That my father already told me directly. Now you have to find out or allocate your money from your own way. We do not. I mean, so then again, went back and talked to my supervisors, and they told that I am happy to have. Means they're happy to basically listen that you are basically become now interested to do your pursue your PhD. So either it may be abroad or either it may be India, whatever may be. Earlier, I was interested a bit abroad. Even most of us also interested a bit still now to have some exposure from the abroad. So that was that way also I thought. But later anyway, so many other parameters also there. Due to that constraint, I did not make it out abroad. Although one scope came, but because of the GRE, to appear in GRE also is a challenge for me because of I basically came through the Bengali medium, and that is why I was having some kind of fear in English because I had to read again so many books, and so that way I left. Although that fellow, that abroad fellow, the abroad supervisor, he told me that you just score and send me, then you will come. So like that he has offered, but I did not. I did not have kind of confidence that I should make it out. And then after finishing my higher degree, then I thought that why don't I try for company? So I kept silent. I did not try for anything, any company job. And I just waiting for my PhD application when it will basically come. So till that time, I just waiting. I just passing my time through read books and some other works. So now I coming to that. So what I'll do it, I now come to the next slide. So this is my actually background before coming to the PhD, basically. So I thought that I should share so that you can understand. In fact, those who have come across, they are already made like this. I hope that because nobody was interested initially at the initial phase to make do the or pursue the PhD. Later at the time gone. Oh, the surrounding also changing and you also will be changing. You have to change, otherwise you won't grow up. So coming to the next slide. So when I thought that I have to make these three phases, that is, yeah. So one is pre-PhD stage, other one is during PhD stage, and the post-PhD stage. So pre-PhD stage, almost I have covered you, whatever I have done. So pre-PhD stage means just before joining in the PhD program, that pre-PhD stage. So in that pre-PhD stage is very essential to each one who is basically willing to do the PhD, because PhD time is very difficult. It depends on so many parameters and so many things. You can also hear about that the suicidal case, something like even in recent times, last year, it was a very bad incident in our college with Pilani. One girl, she has committed suicide. Some stressful things was happened, maybe because from I do not know. I cannot comment, but anyhow. So that is why to basically step into the PhD program, you have to first make yourself that really you have to do the PhD. That particular thing should be solved by yourself. That is basically required. And then you go for your PhD degree program. Because PhD degree program is a very long time. Normally it will take 3 to 4 years if your supervisor and your work and your all surroundings matters will be very much well defined, very much cooperative, very much helpful, then only. Otherwise it took long time also, that 5 years. Like for me, it took, I am coming to that, for me it took 5.5 years to just submit my PhD. Then another 1 year, 6 months I took to finish my, or took to get my degree. That is 7 years, total 7 years I basically uh, taken. Why I'm coming to that? Then you automatically relate yourself, and which is really really required. And I am thankful that Dr. Daniel actually given me a scope to basically speak about this topic. So pre-PhD stage, actually, these three, which I thought, this is my total thinking, based on my thinking only I have kept it. Maybe something else you can add it. That is self-determination, self-realization, self-motivation. So these three things are interlinked. You have to first determine yourself. What you have to do in your life, whether you have to go for the PhD. If you go for the PhD, then this much of things you have to come across, then only you get the degree, whether you are ready for that or not. And that determination should be required. It should not be like a casual way. It should be a very concrete way, and realization at the same time. You have to realize yourself. भाई साहब मैं क्या करना चाहता हूँ? What will be my career? Whether I become a teacher, whether I will become a researcher, whether I will again go back to the company and do the company job. So based on that, you have to decide yourself first, make yourself first, then finally how to apply. Then you go for the applications. Otherwise, my advice or my suggestion is that don't go for PhD. It is not discouraging. I'm telling you in encouraging way. Encouraging way I'm telling you, because I want more students to come for the PhD, because that way my career will be grow up. I'm frankly speaking, my CV will be developed. If I get more number of PhD students, my CV will be automatically developed, because of more publications will come, more research project will come, my name will come to the country, or in the world. Later I will be becoming famous. But if I will forget those things, if I just think in my way what I have done during my time, then I should basically advise or suggest that you have to first make yourself that you have to do PhD. Otherwise, don't come. Leave. Better to go back and join in any company. That will be better. Or try for so many opportunities are there in the government sector also. Those jobs. It is not discouraging. Truly, please believe on me. So this is actually encouraging word. So self-determination, self-realization, self-motivation, how to apply. So these are the four parts which are basically control this pre-PhD stage, which is just before joining in the PhD program. So what is self-determination? We know that there is a theory. This theory says that humans three basic needs, which are competence, which is nothing but the need to be effective in dealing with environment. Yes. Autonomy, need to control the course of their lives. That is also true. Which is basically determination. Self-determination means we normally know this. Autonomy. Autonomical means you have to basically control yourself. Relatedness. Another thing is the relatedness. Need to have a close, affectionate relationship with others. You have so many close friends, but you can listen their suggestion, their advices, but you have to make yourself what you have to do in your life. That is totally depending on you, because at the year of or age of 24 or 23, you have that much of maturity to make yourself that which way you have to go so that your career will be successful, or your everything will be, life will be successful, something like that. Successful means it is relative case. Successful means whatever you were there, how much you can grow up, that will be successful. You should not compare with others. That is also another thing. You should not compare with others. You should not compare with the Modi ji. You should not compare with your local MLA or local any topper. You have to compare with yourself, and that way you just make your career. So this self-determination theory. Then self-realization. Self-realization also, it is almost interlinked. That is it is already related. The development or fulfillment of one's potential. Self-realization, that is the realization of the potentialities of life, which is very important. That you have to realize yourself that what I can do, what is my capability, without influencing others. It is also defined as freedom from external coercion, including cultural expectations, political and economic freedom. It is made by basically Mortimer Adler, who is a philosopher, and he has basically made this philosophy, the self-realization. Right? So this is self-realization and self-motivation. Finally, self-motivation. So everything is when it's done, then you go to that, motivate yourself. Okay, now I have to do it. So ability to do what needs to be done without influence from other people or such situations. People with self-motivation can do anything. So dot means can do anything. It is as per the Business Dictionary. So this is the meaning, self-motivation. Sorry, actually, I'll come to that. What you can just write some questions. You just throw me questions, but I'll come after finishing my presentation. Then I'll try to answer one by one questions, whatever you have sent. Not right now. I just want to finish first. So this is self-motivation. Now, after did this exercise that all three you have done, then you have to look for the means how to apply. Means you have to basically look for the advertisement, just like me. After my ME, I almost 6 months I sat. I just sat like ideally. I was not doing anything that way. I just doing something, whatever, like I just refreshing my basics, my mechanics of solids, and other, I reading my other books. But I was not involved in any job. I was just looking for any advertisement so that I can start to apply, especially in IIT applications. So, and for this, again, when you apply, again, the same thing, it will be repeated. That is, be true to yourself. That means you have to make your goals first. You have to make your aim first. That, okay, I have to do my PhD anyway. Even if any problem will come during my PhD time, but I have to do my PhD, so that I can achieve this goal, so that I can become professor, so that I can become researcher, so that I can give my some noble work to the society. So that you have to make yourself first. So be true to yourself. That, and for this self-motivation, self-determination, and self-realization, everything will be required. Behind it, this particular thing should be required. Then you define your interest. That where I have to basically, so what actually I have to do it, what is my interest. So that you have to define. That interest means basically that civil engineering, as a civil, because I did my BE in civil engineering and later in ME in structural engineering, but structural engineering is part of civil engineering. So I thought that I'll be interested in that, or I got stuck into that particular thing. So that is my that you have to define. So that is your defined interest before apply, and then you have to also that interest should come into that particular research field, because you have to basically fill up the form, and in that form you have to basically mention your the area, the research area where you have to basically do the research, do the PhD. Either because even in civil engineering also there are various fields, even in structural engineering also there are various fields. Like in structural engineering, there are materials, there are normal structural design, there are detailing, there are mechanics only. So many construction field also is there. So there are so many vast field, even if in the structural engineering also. So we have to basically focus into that. Because structural engineering, there are mainly two parts which you normally understand, that is statics and dynamics. So either you have to go to the only statics, stick about statics, or you can also explore the dynamics or earthquake engineering. Like my structural engineering, because I did my ME in structural engineering field and my ME topic was related to the dynamics. So I mainly focus on the dynamics, structural dynamics field. I have to do my PhD. That was my research area. Even that was my stick, means I got stuck, means I just stick about that particular interest. I did not think about the any other field, even materials also. So that is your, do your research, then look for openings. Then when the openings will start to come, that means the advertisement will come, then you start to apply according to your way. That means whatever you have fixed, whatever interest you have thought, you have to basically start to apply. So that is your look for openings. Now look for openings also. There are basically not only in India, because most of us also interested for in the abroad, but in the abroad we know that for this we have to appear in your GRE score will be required, and if you apply in USA and even in the other countries also, but I think in Canada, because in my time TOEFL will be was required for Canada if you want to do the PhD in Canada, and GRE score will be required in USA. I do not know what about the other places like Singapore, NUS, in National University Singapore. I was a basically, which I have shared at the beginning, that I was offered, but they want some score in GRE. So I think GRE score will be required. Even TOEFL also, they told me that TOEFL also will be required, because it basically nothing but the it shows that how much efficiency is there in your English. So or proficiency is there in your English. That is why that either TOEFL, either GRE score will be required. But I'm not aware about what about the nowadays program. And that is why I did not through, and I just stick about Indian universities, mainly the IIT. So that you have to basically stick about those advertisements also, whether you have to do your PhD in the IIT or BITS, that is BITS, or any other universities. Or NITs, nowadays NITs also came. Then you have to apply broadly. Broadly means your topic should be broad topic. Your broad topic should not be, suppose, like very specialized topic, very narrow topic. Like my topic, which I remember, I just written or I wrote. I think I wrote it that dynamic analysis of a worst buildings, or yeah, worst buildings in India, something like that. I just written. So that type of things should be there. So the building may be any type. You should not stick about that particular building. That building will be any type. So that is why they told that it should be broad topic. Apply broadly, overall. And you have to write the application in such a way that should be very attractive to the PhD, that particular institute PhD division, so that or the department, so that they can call you for the interview. So that is why make your application stand out also. So this should be, you should be careful before apply for your PhD program. Then you have to make the research statement signed. That is also another part which is required. Make the research statement signed. You have to make a research statement. What you have to already you have fixed the topic. Now under that particular topic, you have to write a small abstract. That what exactly you have to do it. So that idea you have to basically write it within 100 words or 150 words or 200 words, something word limit also so that should be very clear. And one more thing which I missed right now, I just getting it. Uh, I told you that after my ME program, I basically sat just like a ideally means ideal way. I just sat doing my just own work and some replacement of the basics, that type of things I was doing it. But yes, I forgot to share it that I tried to. I mean, I have started to communicate, or I started to basically send email, because that time email also started. It is in the year of 2003. So in that year, the email also. So I was exchanging the email to every faculty members, which I thought that it will be matching with my interest in different IITs, like IIT Kanpur, IIT Roorkee, IIT Kharagpur that time, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, IIT Madras even. So I started to basically apply. I not apply. I just started to communicate with the concerned faculty members to show my interest into the PhD program. Some of them replied back also. I was feeling happy also that time. And then, and in that, so during that process itself, I made this research statement sign. I thought that this, when you make this research statement sign, better to even communicate or start to email, write an email to the concerned faculty members, which will be basically matching with your area, research area, which is very, very important, so that the concerned faculty member in that particular institute should know before you come to the interview, come to appear for the interview, should know that what is your interest, should know about you a little, not in personally, not in physically, at least from your CV, from your conversation, and it will basically make that particular faculty member very, very kind of means confident about you, that okay, I can take him, but I had to little bit just recheck it also. It's basic or hard basic mainly. So, so that particular communication also you have to make before apply. Before apply to that particular institute or to any university, you have to make communication with the faculty members, concerned faculty member, who will be basically coming with your interested field. Then ask for reference letters early. Reference letters early, it is basically required for the applications point of view. So when you apply it, that one reference letter or two reference letter will be required. And this reference letter is not your, it will be mainly your, the ME, that is Master of Degree Program Supervisor's reference letter. It is mainly that, mainly for that. So if your basically relationship between supervisor, ME supervisors or the MTech supervisor and you is very good, then hopefully the reference letter also you should not bother about it. It will be very good. And for me, you know, I have already told you that I was lucky that I got those two type of means those type of supervisors who has basically made me whatever I am right now. So ask for reference letters early. Then update your mentors, which I have told just now. Update your mentors means who will be basically mentoring or who will be there in that particular institute, under whom you are going for the doing your PhD. So that should be that is also normally there, normally required. Then after everything will be established, everything will be settled, then you go for your or send your applications. You just fill your form, send the applications to the particular institute, and then after applying to every institute as per your choice, then finally you can take breath, final breath, okay, relax, be relaxed also, and wait for calling for the interview. So thoroughly prepare for, so after getting an interview call, before it, you have to also prepare yourself for your interview. Interview mainly, I'm telling you, interview mainly, PhD interview mainly based on your ME topic or MTech topic, which you have done in your ME degree program. And in that particular topic, they just want to know your how much confident you are in that particular topic. It is not you. They don't want that how much innovation you have done it in that particular ME topic, or how much unique things you have developed. If you develop, then it's very good. If you even if you won't develop, but you are basically very much confident about the topic and about whatever you have done in your ME degree program, and the basics, which is basically matters nowadays. Basics. We normally check the how much strong in the basics.
गाने जाना होगा, jogging करना होगा, बता।
Hello.
गाने का काम तो नहीं है।
Hello. Is there any problem, Dr. Daniel?
No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Okay, okay.
So for this, basically, you have to make yourself very sound in basics. Basics means mainly mechanics of solids, basics. That mechanics of solids books you have to again refresh, and you can relate also. Try to relate also, because you have that much of maturity that through that basics or with that help of the basics you can relate also. Whatever you are not able to relate during your ME program or during your BE program. Now you have that, you can that. So that basics should be very strong. Normally we check the basics. If your basics will be okay, then anybody or any institute, either IIT Kanpur, either IISc Bangalore, either IIT Madras, either any other institute can take you very gladly, proudly, right? So no need to worry. Anybody, any mentor will be pleased to consider you as one of the PhD students, right? So this is mainly required. Then after, suppose you through in one of the very good institute, like premier institute in India, suppose in India, because I am considering the Indian institute, not the abroad institute. Then you come to the institute and start your career. Basically first 1 year, I do not know, mainly I just right now telling about whatever I have done my IIT Roorkee, because I joined in IIT Roorkee for my PhD program, and whatever I am doing here also as a faculty member in BITS Pilani. So normally initially when I joined or when the PhD student joined at BITS Pilani, if it is a project, then the objectives are clear. But if it is not project means the externally funded project. If you have joined through externally funded project, or your topic will be like externally funded project topic. Externally funded project means like Department of Science Technology, Ministry of Humanities, AICT. Some projects are being offered to the faculty members, and if you are lucky to be one of the student in that particular project, then that at the beginning itself your objectives will be clear. So I'm not telling about those part. I am telling about the students who are not basically clear about what he has to do it at the beginning when he has just joined in the institute, because you do not know what will be your PhD topic. You know that you have given some rough idea, means just broad topic. You just mentioned the broad topic, but now you have to fix a particular topic with choosing, or with basically with the help of your mentors or with the help of your supervisors. And it will take at least 6 months, I'm telling you, frankly speaking, or maybe more than 1 year also. For me, it took 1 year, 6 months to choose a particular topic, because it is not a very means matter of joke, and or it is not like a very quickly I join and I choose the topic and then I start my work, and I finish my work and I start my writing, and then I complete my PhD and submit it. So it is not like that. And that is why there is some stipulated time duration for your PhD, that is 3 to 5 years normally. It may vary also. Normally 3 to 5 years. It may extend also, even more than 5 years also. So it depends on your topic to topic. It depends on your faculty members to faculty members. Even it mainly depends on you. You are the main person who basically control this. Who can finish early? Who can finish lately? Who can finish in between? If you are, but for this you have to follow this tip, which I am currently here sharing it. That first tip at the beginning, when just you join, you do not know anything. Whatever you are running, so you just met your supervisor, you just met your other faculty members. The faculty members and the supervisors ask you, okay, you have to basically do your some institutional job as a teaching assistantship. That is also part of your PhD program, because you will be getting some stipend, and for that stipend you have to do your teaching assistantship. That is also mandatory. So, and that teaching assistantship, for that you have to basically concentrate also some subjects, because of your learning, means you have to study it. So for this you have to basically focus on that, and along with the supervisor also ask you, please start to study some materials related that the area you have fixed. Now you have to choose the topic, and for this you have to basically started to study the various topics related to that particular field through the internet, which are available nowadays. The Google website is available, and or the library. You go to the library and then find out some materials, started to read the materials, and at the same time parallelly you have to write early. So whatever you are reading it, you have to start to write also at the same time. Write early and write often. So you have to start to write, and that will be a good practice. And then periodically you have to meet your supervisors and update with him, so that, and it will be good for everyone actually. Then accordingly you have to read lot of papers, which is mandatory. If you read lot of papers, then you automatically get more idea to fix your towards the fixing your topic, a particular topic also very quickly within a stipulated time. Otherwise it can take more than 2 years also. So read lot of papers. Not only read your lot of papers related to your field, at the same time read the other papers also, which is not related to your things, like a novel, like a story, like anything, like any literature. So that will basically enhance your knowledge actually, and also help you to fix a topic also, because the PhD means that doctor of philosophy. So philosophically you should be sound after completion of your PhD program. So that everyone wants, and that is why you should not start only your technical books. You have to also read the other books and work in a short sprints. You have to work in small sprint in a quick time, so that you can achieve a goal, achieve your goal. You should not fix a very long-term goal, and you have to and you are taking too much of time to finish it, then automatically your PhD will be delayed. So work in short sprints. That will basically help you to achieve your goal. And also focus on small signs of progress, like a publications. So you start to publish your papers as much as possible in a small sprints and with a signing way. And also attend the conferences. Attend the conferences, because that will help you to communicate, to basically to communicate with the various scientists, various researchers, various academicians from different fields who will be coming over there, gather, and then just share their thoughts, share their exposures, etc., etc. So that is very, very important. And don't cut corners. Don't cut corners means don't take shortcut mainly. Don't take shortcut. You have to take in a very detailed way. You have to take in a in a proper way, so that later, if people will think that okay, you have just tried to validate it, just to try to validate without any justification, then what will happen? The supervisors will become angry. Supervisors will be feeling irritated. Not only that, the other surrounding fellows also will feel that you are not very sound in your basics, and that is why it happened. And that is why it took shortcut. So shortcut is not good for your reputation point of view also. So please don't do it. So these 6 tips, which is mainly required before writing your PhD thesis. So these 6 tips should be required before start to writing your PhD thesis. Now during writing of your PhD thesis, you should introduce, you should write in a proper way. That is the introduction part, that say up front what the problem is, what other people have done, and how have added to it. So these 3 things should be there in the introduction part, and get rid of those typos. That means don't copy or don't same thing, repeated things to be there in your write-up part. So please be avoided that those things also. Bad grammar is not very good. It's not a very good practice. So it is a bad practice, and weak supervision. So it is normally, we think that the supervisor also not be very good in the English part. That is why this happened. So that is why bad grammar could show bad practice, and weak supervision, it should be avoided. Superlatives are not very good. That means, suppose if I say that the building is very high. Very high, what does it mean? It is a vague term. Very high means, what is the height? Just make it in numeric order, or some alphabetical order, but it should be communicated to the others in a proper way. Otherwise, it will be kind of a vague term. So superlatives are not very good. Significance matters. Yeah, significance matter means, suppose after decimal points, normally we'll see that some 0.1% difference is there. So don't do that. Unnecessarily you make it more complex. So better to keep it almost same. If the significance is very high, like after means like 4-digit order, the difference is there, then you have to highlight, or 3-digit order difference is there, then you have to highlight. Then one table says much more than a whole lot of numbers. So it is nothing but when you basically present a table, you have to basically represent with a very proper way, so that the people can understand. Then draw some pictures. Pictorial representation is very much required, essential in your write-up portion, which is better than even if you just write as a text, because normally people directly focus on the pictorial representation rather than the text. So if the pictorial representation is good, then no need to even go through your text also. So people can easily understand, people can easily relate. So break up but keep a narrative. So you have to basically write the text in a very short manner, not very in a long manner. And it should be, it should be basically the linked with each other. So that link should be there. Avoid using the words of others too much. So don't copy the others' words. So that is all, and be precise. It should be very precise, very to the point, so that people can understand very quickly, so that it should hammer to the people very quickly, to the brain, actually, hammer to the brain of the people. Every diagram and table should be reference in the text, and be critical of yourself and others. Yes, when you do the write-up, you have to first criticize yourself. Whatever you have write it, you have to criticize it, that whether I have written correct or not, criticize it more. And then you show to the others. Then obviously it will be good to others also to understand. A thesis is not a diary. It should not a diary. Diary, we can write use a text and randomly, casually, we can write it in diary. But it is not a casual manner. It should be very focused manner, and very punctual way, or not punctual, very responsible things actually to write write the thesis. Focus the literature review on the contributions. Definitely literature review is main part. Make sure the aim is of the thesis and not of the initial research project. Definitely it is a thesis, it is not an initial research project. Research projects normally it is only objective literature review and what you have done. No proper conclusions is there, but in the thesis everything should be there. Get the flow right. This flow which I have told beginning, means before the last slide itself, that your flow should be maintained, one sentence to other sentence, your flow should be maintained. If you do not know it, don't say it. Yeah, don't say that, don't say any random things which you do not know. Some vague idea you are just relating it. Don't do that. Then the others who can read it, explain it simply so that you love the subject and it is relevant. Make your thesis a sandwich. Sandwich means that if the flow will be later on, the whole thesis will be just like a book. So from beginning to end, it should be total flow, it should be properly linked, and people will be finally can enjoy after reading your thesis. Don't just speak without reviewing and justifying, which just now we have told that don't say it without knowing that. Validate before evaluate. Validation is very important thing. In every word. Get the scientific method. So technically you have to basically write it. Otherwise people cannot entertain or people cannot appreciate. Must be based on the method and be repeatable. Evaluate your method against others. So this whole 25 points, if we remember when we write the thesis, I think you can achieve or you will be able to submit your thesis. But not only that, some more points also I have written here, that be fair and honest with your experiments. If possible, know your examination time, so that your examination team means who will be there to basically evaluate your thesis outside examiner, either in India, either abroad. So if that team will be known to you, normally it will be known to you, it will be good actually to basically write up your thesis. So that you are now an expert in your area. Yes, you have to write the thesis as an expertise way, not as a beginner's way. Use appendices. So more appendix will be required where you can explain separately, not in the text part. Separately, you have to add appendix A, appendix B, appendix C, so that people can understand. Quality is better than quantity. This is very important thing. Define published work, which is also another very important things. What those are downloaded, no proper references like papers way or like book way, it's not mentioned. Like www dot something is there. Don't take those references. Better to avoid those references. Look for small scale to large scale experiments. So it will be small to large, not the large to small. Leave the introduction and conclusion to last, and then do the abstract and finally the title. So this is the way to write up. Few abstracts are actually any good in the first draft. Normally we'll do the abstract part initially, then later on we'll remove, and finally after everything we have written, then we go for the abstract part. Conclusion should conclude the whole thesis. That should be matter. Mind those commas, properly put the commas in a proper place, end on a high, signpost your word, guide but stay on the academic track, be humble. So the write up portion you have to write in a proper way, very humble way, very down to earth way, so that the examiners or the expertise who will basically check your or review your thesis basically be very comfortable to read. Then after submission of your thesis, then it will be reviewed, then it will come back, and suppose both the reviewers, normally 2 reviewers will be required for the review. Normally in our BITS as well as the IIT, which I know that there are 2 reviewers will be required for review, and all through are passed, that means through, then you have to appear for the viva. So for the Viva, that is your post PhD stage. For the Viva or in the Viva, you have to basically focus on these points. Be ready to defend up to a point. Again, for this, your basics should be strong, especially the basics should be related to your thesis. Then draw it out and keep it simple. So you have to basically, when you explain it on the blackboard or whiteboard or in the PPT, you have to basically in a simple manner with a diagram, I have to explain. That will be more clear. That will make more clear to the reviewers, not with a text. The simplest things are open, most difficult to explain. Yes, that is true. The simplest thing always very difficult to explain. That is true. So you have to very, very careful also. Know your examiners. Already you have known during the thesis write-up portions. So you know that who are the examiners are coming for taking your Viva. So communicate also with them before your Viva. That is also another thing. And also you have to find out that what is his expertise area. Although you already came to know that during your write-up portion, write-up with thesis portion, that they are from this area, but still don't leave it too long for the Viva. Yes, stay calm and enjoy and be humble. So these are the 7 points which will be required for your Viva part, which is basically, even it is, I can relate with my time also when I did my everything, that I also came across to this particular phase. Finally, PhD is a very long journey, but yes, we cannot give up hope. We'll always keep in contact. We always keep in touch with my supervisors, even during my enjoyable time, during my difficult time. Finally, PhD is not a degree, which at the beginning itself, I told. PhD is not a degree. It is a degree. You will get the degree. You will be awarded by degree, a PhD degree. But it is kind of through this PhD journey, you will get lot of exposure, either to your basics, either in your technical area, either in your non-technical area, either you can relate with your even family life also through these particular exposures. So that is why it is known as doctorate of philosophy. It is not known as doctorate in doctorate in civil engineering, like master of engineering in civil engineering, like the bachelor of engineering civil engineering. It is doctorate of philosophy. So you are now the expert, you are now the philosopher, from whom the others can get some help, others can get some advice, others can get some suggestion, others can get some idea to relate with their own life also. So that is why this PhD is, which I thought PhD is basically essential. But yes, before doing PhD, you have to first make yourself that you really have to do that. You have to make yourself, you first check your passionate. You have to show your passionism, actually, that that passionism, that yes, I have to do my PhD. So finally, for a bit advice, have a look at Ralph Markle's time. He invented key exchange while an undergraduate, but his professor rejected his ideas because he did not articulate them properly. And Ralph then tried to publish a paper on it, but it was rejected because he had no literature in the paper. So try and write well and perfect the art of speaking directly to the reader, which is very, very mandatory thing. And also follow the rules of research that have been laid down over the centuries, and you are halfway there. So this that is all. So that's all. And thank you very much for your patience. I think I took 10 minutes more. I do not know how many of you have understood or how many of you have got it, but I think that at least I understood myself that whatever I wanted to basically express, whatever I kept myself into myself, actually, I did not express these things with any other one or even my PhD students also. Today, I a bit relaxed that I express myself. Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Daniel.
Yeah, thank you so much,
For this
Professor.
giving. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in chat box we have some more queries.
Just
Shall
a
I?
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I promise that. Okay. I'm not able to see the screen share by share. I think Mr.
There is a chat
Karam,
option is there, Professor. Chat option.
yeah. No, the one fellow, she told, and I'm not able to see the screen share by share. I think it is done.
Yeah, that
It
is
is clear
okay.
here. Can you kindly check whether your internet is stable or not because it is visible for me? This is also okay. I hope that. I do not know.
Shall I read out the question, Professor?
Yeah.
Yeah. In between
Please.
PhD, if we got school teaching job in government, do we
Okay.
accept this job?
That up to the candidate. It's totally up to the candidate. Even one of my student, initially he joined. I'm telling you, yeah, this happened during my PhD supervising time also. One of my PhD student, he joined in BPS, that is Birla Public School in my Pilani. And he joined, he left. He told that I was not enjoying, so I again came back to came back to you and doing my PhD and finished my PhD. So that also happened. So it depends to candidate to candidate. It depends. It doesn't depend on the supervisor actually. Even doesn't depend on the guide because they have the mature enough to basically make themselves that which direction they have to go, right? So yes, during PhD time, if he is really interested for that particular area, that okay, school job I can do it, they can do it, no problem, no problem, and it will be good also for the even for the students, those who are fifth standard, sixth standard, seventh standard. It is not good. It is not good. I mean, I'm not telling that it is not good. It is good, but yes, the fact the fellow, the candidate who will be going to join as a teacher, school teacher, for him or her, it is his or her choice. Actually, totally. Like my student, he came back again. He started to do his PhD.
Another
Yeah.
question is like, will age be a limitations?
No age
Though
is
the
limitation.
person
No.
is passionate in pursuing PhD.
Sure. Up to 60 years, even before lifetime, also before life, you can do anytime your research. Even I am now behind my mom. That I just I was actually one day I was sharing with her that why don't you do your is not she is just bachelor graduated, she is not even master degree also, but I just asking her that do it because she is now 65 years old because she's not able to actually how to pass the time, so better to do it, and she is fond of books actually, reading books, and that is why I just asking her go for the higher degree, and I am basically arranging, I am able to arrange for you. So any age doesn't matter for learning anything. Yeah, even for the research also.
Yeah.
50 over, I think recently I in institute there is a student 55 years old, Cornell. Yeah, he retired and he joined here as a PhD student, so he is doing no problem, but yes, the stipend matters for him.
Yeah.
That is the only thing that is matters. Other than that, it's fine.
Another question is like, what kind of questions are asked in PhD interview?
Totally basics. Totally your ME topic. Like my topic was, which I remember, my topic was a stochastic model of a dam structure. So stochastic is totally related to the dynamics, random vibration. So I was being asked so many random vibration field. And there is a book, Random Vibration, by that fellow. I'm forgetting right now. He was a director IIT Delhi, and he's mainly from IIT Kanpur. Later, he also professional in IIT Roorkee.
Sudhir K. Jain.
Correct. No. Before that, Random Vibration. He's very famous. Long back, 80s fellow, 1980s time professor. He's too good actually. So that was the book. Only book was available. I was not able to give all the answers, frankly speaking. I just mechanics say kuch. They asked some questions related to mechanics. I was able to give the answer. But after that, all random vibration questions I flew away. I just gone away. I do not know what I have answered. Okay, anyway, yes. Even I got a chance as a PhD student in IIT Roorkee. It's okay. Earthquake engineering department, even civil engineering also. Then IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, IIT Kanpur. I did not. I did not actually make it out. Yes, that's true because they have asked me so many questions related to the random vibration. That is also another thing. Yeah, tell me.
I think Hans, yeah, participants, you want to unmute and you want to ask you directly some questions. Hello, Hans.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah.
And sir, first of all, I want to ask, am I clearly audible to you?
Sure.
Yes, sir. Sir, thanks a lot for this great session. I was wondering that I would have attended your lecture before joining my PhD, since it was already I have already completed my 1 year of synopsis
Okay.
submission. But
It's
I
my
will
pleasure
definitely
actually. It would be my pleasure that
yes,
at least. Okay. Thank you.
so,
Thank you very much.
but your the paths that you have covered in your presentation, like what you have to do
Correct.
during the
Correct.
PhD and post PhD, and that I will
Yes.
definitely be taking care of with the help of a presentation. So thanks a lot, sir.
So I think that
So
PhD is not a degree. That is, I am telling my
right,
students also. Even Daniel,
right, sir.
Daniel is also just like my students. Means he is also. I think you newly when you did your PhD,
Sir,
Daniel.
just now I have submitted my thesis, Professor.
Okay, so you are just like me,
Yeah.
students only.
Yeah.
Okay, so even means degree. It is a degree. It's okay, but it is a learning phase
Yeah,
because
right, sir.
BME we actually busy for getting marks, right? We are not having time to relate to clear our basics, everything. We just kind of a rat race. We are in rat race. We are just
Right,
rat
sir.
race to make scoring higher marks so that we'll be in top, right? So that people can appreciate, people can hire us in the company job, right? So
Right, sir.
that was the reason. But PhD
Right,
time is the main time where you can relate everything, where you
right.
can clear your everything,
Yes, sir.
clear your everything. That was only the phase where you can relate with your first phase with your second phase also of your. Now first phase is bachelor's time, second phase is
Right,
suppose
sir.
somebody of you have got married, that phase, so you can relate also. So
Yes,
anyway,
sir.
yeah, you come to the point. Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, I will take around 2 to 3 minutes to explain my question. So, am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
That
Can go ahead.
Daniel
Go ahead.
will do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So, what you have explained in the subtopic, like how to apply. So, I
Yeah.
think it was the fifth point that it stated that application should be broad.
Correct.
So, what I have to share with you as a PhD scholar of management discipline that comes under the domain of social sciences, that
Okay.
we are asked to be as specific as possible, like what we do in cross-sectional study. That any one dimension, or I can say some specific domain is studied, and the depth and broadness is created on that. So, for
Correct.
example, if we are choosing buying behavior,
Hmm.
I'm uh, discussing about my an example from my field. Like if we are choosing buying behavior, then it has two categories, like business buying, or we can also say call it like industrial buying, and another is the consumer buying, like consumers like us. So
Okay.
these two have the different behavior. So if we choose the broad category, then we are told that the results are meaningless. But we need to choose various elements of consumer buying if we are
Right.
choosing like
Right.
consumer buying. So there are various models, there are various categories in that, like
Hmm.
intention, your dives and cues, the promotional impact,
That will
and
be
then the
that will
final
be
division. Yeah,
yeah,
right,
I
sir.
understood. I understood point. That will be coming when you have joined in the for that in that program in the institute. That will be
Right,
coming.
sir.
That slowly you'll be going to be narrow. So narrow
Right, sir.
was later when you will apply. That will be the overall topic, broad topic you have to mention.
Right,
Like
sir.
management, I do not know which particular topic I will tell you. But
Right, sir.
in civil engineering field, like
Right.
mine, I just told that dynamic analysis of what's building structure. I do not know what structure. Sorry, not what's building
Right,
even,
sir.
what structure. So
Right,
just
sir.
like that I put it.
Yes, sir.
So that the people can understand, okay, he is mainly interested in dynamics. He is mainly interested in any structures. It may be dam structure, it may be building structure, it may be bridge structures, mainly
Right, sir.
structural engineering field and dynamics field. That is
Right,
only
sir.
the motto. So that you have to basically show. That's it.
Okay, so
Even in the
that's what I
marketing
have.
also,
Right.
your management also, you just
Right.
write a broad topic. Don't include any particular topic, a specialized topic. It's not required.
Right.
It will be coming. It will be automatically coming when you join as a PhD students in the institute, right? When
Right,
you
sir.
are basically started to communicate with your supervisor, potential
Right.
supervisor, right?
Right.
Okay.
Another question is like, what about postdoctoral fellowship? How to get reference letter and how
Yeah,
to
post
mention? Yeah.
or right, I understood. Postdoctoral fellowship after just finishing your PhD, just after submission of your PhD, you start to again you start to write an applications to the different universities in abroad, which may be which may be basically linked with your supervisors mainly. Supervisor link should be there because supervisor friend, supervisor guide, supervisor some experts, supervisor known them. Some project work is going on, collaborative research project is going on between supervisor and that particular university which are abroad, either Australia, either USA, either Canada, either UK, either anywhere. So through that, it will be easier to get the postdoctoral fellow. Earlier, it is very difficult. Otherwise, you have to come through the competition. Competition means every time the government is basically publicizing, advertising some fellowship, Ramanujan fellowship or something else. So through that, you should come through that. Means you should come through that competition. Otherwise, if your supervisor will be well known, your supervisors should know to that particular fellow. It will be easier for them to get that particular postdoctoral fellow. But yes, always communication is required. Communication is the matter, right? And rapport is the main big thing. Every time you have to make a good rapport for your long time career.
Is GRE test required for postdoctoral in abroad?
GRE is not required for postdoctoral fellow. It is only required like Dr. Daniel, right? He
Yeah.
has asked me to give the this presentation. So this type of rapport should be made. And even if whenever he will ask me, I am ready to do it anywhere, anywhere.
Yeah.
So that type of rapport should be made. That is required after your PhD. That is actually kind of a unit. You will be able to make a unit, and that unit will work. And that through that unit you will publish your more work, publish your papers, publish your conferences papers, get more fundings, research funding. Your CV will be updated. You will be
I think Professor, your battery is running low.
from now onwards.
Professor, I think your battery of your laptop is
Yeah,
running
yeah,
low.
yeah. Now it's going to be discharged. Yeah.
Yeah. A last
So it's
question. We have a last question, sir. Does the duration taken for the completion of the course affect the quality of the work?
sorry, I could not understand.
Does the duration for the PhD taken for
Yeah,
completion
yeah.
of the course affect the quality of the work?
Yes, a bit. It will be definitely affected first 2 years at least, or maybe somebody who is very, very intelligent guy, very smart guy. For them, I can say that 1 year, 6 months. But yes, a bit it will be affected, but you have to manage. Time management, you have to, another thing, time management. Time management, that is your part. You have to manage. That doesn't mean that I'm telling you that 24 hours you'll be busy. You have to find out your time, how you can do it. You have to make a routine, but don't go by routine also. Yes, that is also true. Then it will be robotic. Then you cannot enjoy during your PhD time. Sub karo. Every time you sub karo, everything you will do, whatever you can do. But concentrate at least 1 hour or 2 hour in your thesis or PhD program.
If then no more question, then we will wind up the session. So I would like to thank you once again, Professor, for accepting the invitation from Manuscriptpedia for having this very informative sessions.
It's a great exposure for me also. Yeah, yeah.
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, thank you
very
so
much.
much, Professor. Thank you so much, Professor.
Thanks.
Thank you.